What do you guys want to talk about?
Welcome to the A-Train Show. And now here's your host, the A-Train, Arlington Lane.
Welcome to this edition of the A-Train Show, the A-Train Arlington Lane. We're back at it again for Fun Fan Friday. Forgive me, folks. Oh my gosh, I am super duper late today. But grateful to be back here on Fuel Sports Network. Even being 2 minutes late, but here we were 5 minutes late today. So just bear with me. All right. The show is live. Make sure that you are tuning in to us today. You can check in with us on fuelsportsnetwork.com. Boom. You can check in with us here on Fuel Sports on Net on X. And you can catch us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/fuelsportsnetwork25. All right. And if you got any questions, make sure that you throw them there at admin@fuelsportsnetwork.com. I feel like a lot of stuff is going on with my face, and it's like driving me insane. It's ridiculous. But I'm here for you for Fun Fan Friday. We're going to touch on a couple of things before we get out of here. I wanted to touch on Mr. Nolan Arenado. No, I'm not taking any calls right now. So yeah, that ain't happening. We're not taking no calls today. And as we're getting closer toward the playoff race in the NFL, it is getting tighter and tighter and tighter as we're getting towards that time. Okay, we'll leave that off. But it's crazy now that game between the Chargers and the Broncos last night. The Chargers getting the win. Broncos was looking like they were going to be that group that was going to surprise everybody, and they have surprised a lot of people, man. And Chargers, I think, sitting at 9-5 as we get into this these final weeks, and this race is getting more and more interesting as we get closer. Like I said, 4 teams is in the playoffs right now. We still got 3 more spots. Well, they're tied now, the Chargers and Broncos at 9-6. Got 3 more spots that can happen. And right now, as we're sitting, it looks like these 3 teams can grab it. That's the Ravens, the Chargers, and the Broncos. And they're saying the Colts are still in it. And they're saying for some odd reason, the Dolphins are still in it, and the Bengals, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I think they're pretty much out of it, and it's pretty much wide open, I guess, if you want to look at it. And I also want to throw this out there. On Monday, if you watch ESPN, if you watch ABC, you've watched MTV in the past, I got a chance to meet journalist Chris Connolly. Came up to my job, and he's coming. For those that don't know, I'm at Hertz, and I ain't got no shame in that. That was one of the things I remember from. I've had different encounters with people, this past year, Brian Jordan and Chris Connolly. But I've had them in the past prior to that. And then one thing was when he pulled up, it was like I'm like, you look familiar. It didn't dawn on me until he, gives me his driver's license. I'm looking at it. I'm sitting there. I'm like, he looks familiar. And then when I looked at him and I see it, I was like, in the flesh. And, it was crazy. And, it was brief because, he had business he had to attend to. So, I try my best not to, if I do see somebody of celebrity status, I try my best not to take up much time with them because I know they have things that they have going on. And, I don't want to disrupt what they have already in mindset. They might have had a long flight. They may have had a difficult time getting around and stuff like that. And so they just want to get in their car and they go. So I briefly spoke to him, and it was a great encounter. And I wanted to touch on that a little bit. I didn't on Wednesday's show, but I wanted to make sure I did. If I did, then forgive me. I'm doing it again today. But I definitely wanted to talk a little bit about it, because a lot of times encounters like that can be wonderful to you. And I mean, it's a boost, especially if we got something going on and you may, you don't see it coming at times, right? And so, when you get an opportunity to talk to a personality, or if you want to call it celebrity or so, and they give you a couple minutes of time, always take it the best as you can. And, just kind of, you got to read, unfortunately, you got to read people. So, you can kind of tell whether the vibe is there or not. And one thing I've learned about being in customer service is kind of reading off energies. And, if it's not the best, you try to make it as short as possible. If it's great, you might have a few minutes with the time. So, and then sometimes, dealing with celebrities and stuff, you may have, it'll be lucky if you do get some time to speak to them. But you don't want to hold them up because, they have business they have to attend to, whether it's business wise or personal. So, it was great to meet with him and, just kind of on a humbug, and, I just happened to be there at the right place, right time, and got a chance to speak with him a little bit. So yeah, spoke about him, about his career, and I was a fan of his and stuff. Chris Conley, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. No doubt. He responded to me on X today. So yeah, I'm pretty thrilled about that because it's always great to help someone out at any time and at any moment. So, but yeah, having a lot of fun, get to talk to these people sometimes. You never know who you may encounter at certain points at certain times. All right. Let's see. But yeah, he does a great job of what he does with ESPN and stuff. So yeah, appreciate him more than you can imagine. And I tell everybody all the time, when I share the show, join me and join the conversation. You always can. Anything that you want to discuss, because like for real, this show is like for you guys, Fun Fan Friday. We want to put that out there. If you put it out in the comments, if you want to talk about it, as long as it's sports related, anything outside of, I don't want to talk about politics, and I don't want to talk about, it's got to be something sports related, or it could have been a movie. I heard about the Superman trailer they just dropped, and there are a lot of mixed feelings about this new Superman movie that's coming out. And yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not big on DC like I used to be, because I'm a Marvel guy, and even Marvel movies have upset me this past year. So yeah, like I'm looking at it as, I don't know if I want to be in want to be into superhero movies this go around, because there have been some bombs that have dropped, and I'm not feeling them as we get into this, especially getting into this holiday season and going into the new year. I'm not looking forward to it. All right, we're gonna take a quick time out. Come right back with more of the show. We'll be back in 1 minute, so stay close. This is the A Train Show right here on Fuel Sports Network. on this edition of the A Train Show, the A Train Arlington Lane. Thanks to our friends over at Philip Johnson Salon and Spa. So you saw the ad of their McDougal Bats and Just Meat Jerky. I was checking around a little bit, and good morning to you as well, Jersey. Thanks for tuning in to the show today. I wish I could go to Kansas City right now and go check out that Texans and Chiefs game that's dropping on Saturday, because they're doing a Saturday special. And man, I looked at that weather for Kansas City. Nah, I'm good. I'm like so good right now. Even right now, as we speak, in 26, and they talking about tomorrow. Granted, it's going to be a sunny day on that game. They talking about some 36 degrees. 36 degrees in Kansas City. No, I'm good. I love my health. Like, listen, I have nothing. I got a chance to go to Colorado, Kansas game. It just seemed like almost a month ago. And that game started. It started it's like it was in the high 50s. It was a beautiful day to be at the game. And then as the day progressed, it just got colder and colder and colder and colder. And that I can say it was the wind. The wind did it. And you sitting there, you just and it just got colder. I don't understand how Chiefs fans can enjoy that every single game. It's not for me. It's not. But I would have loved to have been there just to support Houston. I probably would have been the only Houston fan up in there. Or there have been some Houston fans. I don't even know if my people would have went to that game. I don't think they're going because it's too cold for them. If they want something, they want some warm weather and whatnot. I know a few friends, one of them that's here on the Fuel. I don't know if she was going to that game, making a trip to Kansas City, because I get it. That is going to be my hope with that game, the Texans and the Chiefs, is to be good, because I get it. The Chiefs aren't the Chiefs for real, but they still finding ways to win. And the Texans are still kind of finding themselves as a team, still finding a sort of an identity that they themselves don't quite know yet. They have the secondary, they have the quarterback, they have the running back, they have the receivers, and they get the offensive line, and they even have a front four. It's just the identity of the squad. They don't quite know themselves yet. And granted that in this game, both teams are going to be in the playoffs. Both teams won their divisions, their respective divisions, as it is. But my biggest thing is I'm looking for this could be another potential matchup in the playoffs. And what I mean by that, for instance, right now, Chiefs are the number one seed in all of the AFC, and the Texans sit at 4 in the AFC. Yeah, that's exactly right. They have all the twos, and let me see if I can get them in. Let me see if something just happened, man. I don't know what just happened. Let me see what's going down right now. Check this stuff. Oh, okay. Duly noted. The Reverend Doctor is here.
What's up? In this joint, man. How you feeling? Down. There you go. Come on. You see who back there?
Yeah, I said, hey, Zayla, what's going on, girl?
You see who back there? You already know
Yeah,
what's
I do.
going on.
You know,
I, I
I
got
do.
I got I
It's
got
it's
my twin rock and rolling with me.
it's LDOC time, LCD. Let me say that right. LDOS time. That's what it is, folks. Those that
Yeah,
got children,
man.
it is LDOS time. I'm not going to say that out loud because those
Man.
that know it, if you know
Oh,
those
that's
four
some
letters and what
writing.
they stand for, you know what
Yeah,
they stand
man.
for when it comes to children. If you got children, you know what LD.
Mighty Lamb, Doc. Mighty Lamb of God. Do you hear me? And
You
she
know,
is home for the holidays.
you know what LDOS time is. So yeah,
Man,
I was
how
touching.
you feeling, man?
Man, I'm still trying to get it together. I'm living, and that's the main thing. But I'm gonna get
Living
what I
is
need to get.
important.
Yes. Still working at it, it's gonna take time, and the more I try to worry about it, it's gonna make it worse. So I'm
Yeah,
not trying to worry.
I got you. I got you.
But it's
Understood.
LDOS time, man, and Lord have mercy. And and
Yeah.
you may not be the Cowboy fan, but you're pulling for the Texans, and tomorrow is the big one, the Texans versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And
Yes, sir.
I was touching on the fact that the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs for real, but they finding ways to win. Like they
Yeah.
haven't been on all cylinders, but they keep finding ways to win in the last 2 minutes of the ball game. And I said the Texans don't really have an identity yet. It's like it's a slight identity crisis that they're having because they got all the tools. They got the whole. It's like they got the defense. They got the secondary. They
Yeah.
have the offense,
Yeah.
and it just seems like they don't have everything put together just yet. Like they got all the pieces and the recipe. It's just like you got to whip it together now and serve it. And that's the part that they're not at right now, and they're gonna definitely need it for tomorrow's game.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Agreed.
And
Agreed. Man,
Jersey Jackson,
I'm really thinking that it will. Hey, what's up, you? What's up, Jake? Oh man, I'm good, brother. All is well out here trying to be a great father, okay? Just trying to be great in my fatherhood, okay? That's what I am doing. My oldest is about to get ready to come to the house in a little bit, so it's kind of like my daughter's about to hang out with me. So I'm just trying to kind of be great. And just trying to be great, man, And
look at you, being that big father for Christmas, man. Look at that.
I mean, you spend time when you ain't got money. You understand? You spend time when you're broke.
Now, what were you trying to say before I got him jumping into that mix? What was you trying to say,
So,
man?
so I think the Texans, man, have a real good chance. I think even with Pat playing, the Texans have a great defensive team. They suck really offensively. So really, honestly, everything will hinge on how they play offensively. I think this defensively, they would do what they normally would do, but I really honestly believe that their offensive line, if they don't protect C.J. Stroud, man, is going to be a difficult game for them to overcome. You know, and so I just kind of expect a really decent game and something that will help the Texans see kind of where they stand as it relates to the elites, whether Pat plays or not, even though he's saying he is. I think it really doesn't matter because the teams both, with the Kansas City Chiefs, they've been skating by games this year. So it's almost kind of like, all right, the Texans have a chance to kind of overwhelm them a little and showcase that they are ready for the next part of the stage. So I mean, it'll be a great show. It'll be a great game.
Yeah, and Jersey just said that Braun Breaker is currently at the Jacksonville State versus Ohio State game. I think this is Scott Steiner's son that's playing
Yeah,
for him. Uh, Cousins are at the game. Him and Brian are currently there right now as we speak. So Hey, big ups to the Breaker family, the Steiner family that is in this case.
Yeah.
Being over in in bowl games, man. You know, they out here, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but from what you're saying about the Texans, it's offensively has been the problem, and they also have been getting by in a lot of these games. Like especially when the first game, we can go all the way back to game number 1 when they got by the Indianapolis Colts. Granted that they swept that series this year,
Yeah,
by them, and that's the thing you can't do when you're playing against a team like Kansas City. Kansas City is an elite organization.
But they aren't playing that way. So that's why I'm saying that, because Kansas City ain't really playing to the elite status that they would normally play at. They're skating by every game. It's almost like every game you let them boys stay within a touchdown or a field goal, it's a wrap. They're gonna find a way to win. And that's the joy of watching football, is that you get a chance to watch people that are finding ways to win. And they are doing just that. They're finding ways to win the game. And Kansas City is not doing what they normally would do and defeating people. I think somebody they said that on SportsCenter once, that most of the elite teams are beating people by double digits. Kansas City is not. So you got to consider that if they're not beating people by double digits, they barely making it through a field goal or a return or something, whatever, by one digit,
Right.
It really don't help. It don't help that Houston can beat them, whether fully developed or not. They can, because Kansas City just doing what it takes to just get over the hump,
Exactly. And that's been their MO
all year.
And in their runs for the championship. They have done the same thing, same time, and somehow they just keep pulling it off, and they get those dudes. And I don't like it. I don't like it. But that's what winners do. Winners got to find ways. And we can sit there all day. We can say that the refs helped them out a lot. Okay, it happens. But also, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when the game is in your hands? You have an opportunity to defeat them.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
that's the big thing.
It's gonna show when you get to playing those elite teams. Like, they still got to play Buffalo. Like, you understand what I'm saying? What's up, Wyatt? They still got to play. They play Detroit too, right? No, they don't. They play Buffalo. They play. Do they play Baltimore? I think they do play Baltimore.
I don't think they play them for the rest of the season.
Maybe not. I know they play Buffalo though.
Yeah, and so we got.
So you talking about playing an elite team that actually Buffalo looks good right now. If you really pay attention to them, they beating people formidably. So
right, and that's been their only loss all season is against them. Now, mind you, the two rival games they had with the Raiders and Chiefs, they were both under 2. They were at under 3 points. Both were 2-point wins. So when you're having that against your rivals and you having a tough time against them,
facts.
There's a secret. There's a secret to finding a way to defeat them. That means you just got to do it. That's the place that we're at now. And granted, the Broncos, they got one more chance to beat them, and they want to beat them after the controversy they had in that last game.
Absolutely.
They're trying to make a playoff berth after just losing to the Chargers and now tied at 9-6. Those two teams is going to be interesting when we get to the final week of the season, because it's going to be right now. We got 3 teams. And I think those 3 teams are going to make the playoffs. You got the Ravens, the Broncos, and the Chargers. Yeah. And so those 3 teams, they looking really good at making a playoff berth. And I think that it'll continue as long as, I think the Bengals and there are a couple other teams at 6 and 8, they still are in the hunt. But wins for those 3 teams I mentioned with Baltimore, the Chargers, and the Broncos, that'll pretty much end it for the other teams I mentioned. So
yep.
Got that. Yep. All right. Time for a break. When we come back, I gotta talk about this. Did you ever see the Raw kickoff yet, man? Did you see the Raw
I
kickoff?
did. I saw Raw. I saw NXT.
And then
I'm up to date on everything.
And I want to touch on, and we might go into overtime. We'll see how this goes. I definitely want to touch on Kevin Owens and what he's doing with this feud with Cody Rhodes. I'm loving every freaking minute of it. So you stay close. We'll be back with more of the A-Train Show right after this. You're tuning in with us on Fuel Sports Network. Back on this edition of the A-Train Show, the A-Train Arlington name. You hear the music, you know what it's time for. Chaos. Brought to you by me, Jerky.
Go.
And switch it up on y'all a little bit. We're going to do it in the third segment of the show today. Yes, indeed. All right. Finish with that. Chaos is brought to you by Just Meat Jerky. Make sure you put it in discount 10 and you get an opportunity to get 10% off your order over at Just Meat Jerky. All right.
Yes, sir.
So Chaos is brought to you by the one and only today is brought to you by Kevin Owens. Because he's completed it.
He is doing a lot.
And I'm loving it. And I know you may not like it. I love every freaking minute of it. And
Yeah.
I was laughing at this, man. I was laughing at it when I seen it. This was the picture that he posted on Twitter. This is the real champ. And see, listen. Now I understood why the belt was implemented. Because he wanted that one. You couldn't take the actual WWE title. So what do? You take the throwback. Because he feels like he's the real champ with the throwback. And you see he's carrying that one and not carrying the actual WWE title. I love this. I really love this. He's going to show at SmackDown with that title.
I'm finna say, all right, we got SmackDown tonight. So are you saying Kevin Owens? I mean, he's gonna show up. We know he's gonna be somewhere. They kicked him out after Saturday night's main event, and he and Triple H had their little run in. And does he come tonight?
Who?
Kevin Owens. Does he show up tonight? And when he shows up, what is it going to be about? Because we already got the report on. We got the report on Cody already. So what is this going to be about? Do they suspend him? Do they?
Because as you see, there he is again. This is on his page.
Yep.
Fight Owens.
Yep.
And then he posted the picture of himself. And this is what, if you've been looking for something to build with this storyline, it helps it. It helps it a lot. And I don't think they're going to do him like they did him at the Raw kickoff, the Raw Netflix kickoff. he wasn't invited, and he's gonna barge in, say his piece. I just want Triple H to go out there and say something to him, because he's been posting a lot of stuff that him and Triple H were involved with. If you check,
so you don't think that's gonna happen though? Like he's gonna, like, Triple H is gonna start the show. I think Triple H is gonna start the show from the muscle. Why not? And then calling him out there. Call him out there. Heck yeah. Why not? Why not? Because you got to remember, he was trying to tell him to leave, man. You did too much already. And so starting the show with Kevin Owens is not going to produce, because ain't nobody going to want to hear him. Nobody's going to want to listen. Everybody's going to be booing. You already know this is going to happen, whether we like him or not. People are going to be booing because of what he did to Cody. So the show itself got to have the pop. So in order to have that pop, I would think you would let Triple H come out there, start addressing the people, of course, and then let KO come out there, call him out there, and it get real heated. Like it get real like heated, and then they just add the layers. Remember, Triple H is the one that tried to warn Randy about KO. He said, look, he like, so why would Triple H defend it if he knew that KO was doing that? And then on top of that, he knows KO is doing it. And then now we at this place where, dude, you got to have some sense of restraint, and you don't have it. So it's kind of like that build up of the story. I think it builds up the story a little bit better if Triple H came out first.
It started off the show. Hey, afternoon, Demetria. Demetria Hutch chiming in today. Afternoon. We don't have it. Yeah, so hello to you. Thank you to those in the PD Nation that's tuning in to the show right now on the page. I love everything that's going on with this storyline. I'm not saying it's taking over, it's slightly taking over the bloodline. And you know how you can have some storylines supersede the bloodline, but then it can recede back and let the bloodline take it back over. Like, I like what they're doing here. I like the back and forth. Now it gives SmackDown something we can look at. Granted, the bloodline was that group. We have another one. You get what I'm saying?
It does. But WWE always had multiple storylines that ran simultaneously. So
exactly.
It works for me. Okay. It works, but yeah, I always knew he was like impulsive, and so this is what we wanted. Yeah, this is what we want. We want that. We want an impulsive, unhinged Kevin Owens. We want that. That makes the chaos even that much greater.
Exactly.
But he's gonna have a whole plethora of people that gonna be after him, just like Roman Reigns. He's gonna have a whole plethora of them that's gonna be after him.
Superstars. You talking about Kevin Owens, or are you talking about
Yeah, Kevin Owens. Heck yeah. You know how many people gonna be after KO? Like, it's gonna be bad.
And that's a good thing. And if you're saying that Triple H should open up the show here on SmackDown, yeah.
It keeps battles going.
And Major Chaos leads up to January 6th on Netflix.
It definitely keeps those fights going.
Right. And it keeps the audiences compelled on what's been going on in WWE. And one of the main, and many people have said she's probably the wrestler of the year, is Liv Morgan. That story that she has going on, and being over 6 months the champion on Raw. She has a date with Rhea Ripley on January 6th.
It's gone from there.
You think that's the day that it gotta get rid of it?
You gotta give it back to her. You gotta give it back to her. You have to. Okay. There's no other way. She lost it due to an injury. Again, they gotta have an opportunity to get back to it. Like, so I think giving it back to her and then letting Raquel go against her, that's gonna be the match that's gonna end up being the turning point. Because remember, Liv is gonna probably turn on Raquel, saying, "Well, I lost the belt because of you." or whatever the case may be. I had it as long as you wasn't here, and you're supposed to have my back, but you didn't do nothing, and you didn't do this, and you didn't help me. So it's gonna kind of be, and I'm better than you, so it's gonna kind of be that turn. And yeah, it's gonna, and then if you want that Rhea Raquel match, so at least I do. I want to see it again.
Good Doctor says Morgan is the female wrestler of the year, which I agree with. Drew, overall wrestler of the year. Drew?
No, not Drew.
Drew? Can you explain to me why you feel Drew is the wrestler of the year? Because I gotta have an understanding with it. I know him and Punk have been in probably one of the best feuds all year. I will give that. If they have feud of the year, I'm giving McIntyre and Punk that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But not wrestler.
This is gonna sound crazy. If you're gonna say something crazy like that, then I might as well say Punk is the wrestler of the year. If you're gonna say something crazy like Drew is the wrestler of the year, I might as well jump on and say Punk. Look at what Punk has been able to do and to initiate. He's had 3 different feuds all year long. Correct?
What is our criteria though? This is our issue. We have a horrible criteria for everything. So we need to be able to. We gotta be more clear about what it is that we watching. We got to be more clear about that. Like it's almost kind of like at the end of the day, what is the criteria for each stanza of what we call it? Female wrestler of the year, I believe you would give it to Liv because Liv has done the most and has turned in so many different ways. So I think I would give it to Liv, honestly. Male wrestler. I don't know, man. Because I would say Solo. Because again, keeping the bloodline going, bringing in the new guys. Like, I don't know though. Like, what would be the criteria? That's my point.
This is Pro Wrestling Illustrated's PWI 500's criteria just to be a part of that.
Okay.
Wrestlers win-loss record, championships won, their quality of competition, major feuds, and prominence within their promotion. Just from that alone,
CM Punk.
Punk fits it. And the only thing
but he ain't had no.
He don't have the championship. He had no championship. He had no championship. I know exactly what's going on with him right now. I'm just not gonna say nothing. The championships is not there because of the feuds. He had Bloodline, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins currently to end the year. Just to end the year alone, man, and it's nutty by itself. I'm like, you almost got to give Punk the award.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, bro. It might go to Drew. It might go to Drew for me too, because I think based on the battles, based on the bounce, the fights, the things he's doing right now, it may be Drew, bro. Like the guy knows Drew, it may be Drew. Now I'm looking at this lady. Y'all forgive me because I'm looking at this lady who keeps looking in her rearview mirror, but she's holding up traffic. Like, so why are you looking at me instead of moving? Like, that's what I don't understand.
I'm sitting here looking. I can see you.
I'm like, go forward. Like, go forward. Like, don't look at me. Go forward. Your eyes supposed to be ahead of you. You looking in your rearview mirror. I guess you trying to flirt though. I guess you may know me or something. I don't know. But she looking in the rearview mirror and not paying attention. And I'm going, yo, this is ridiculous, man.
Hey, and you know when you sitting in your car, and you see a person that's in front of you and they looking up, that means they're looking at their rearview mirror. And every time they do it.
Yeah, and it gets worse and worse because like it's almost kind of like she like she's deliberately doing it. and cars are just popping over. So of course it's making the traffic a little bit more worse because now ain't nobody moving. Everybody's just kind of sitting. But she's sitting because she got her eyeballs on one thing. I guess I don't know what that is. Ma'am, I'm cute. Go ahead. God bless you. Just get out the way. Mighty Lamb of God, sir.
Okay.
I just want her to get out the way. That's all I'm asking. Just move.
I'm gonna go to Jersey's comment and then we're gonna take a break. I say Cody or Solo because they're keeping the company moving forward right now. Now, if Solo were to win any award of any stature, that's gonna mess with the bloodline. I guarantee you that will mess with the bloodline. And granted, Solo has been amazing, but he's like, if we going off of what Jeremy is saying about injuries, then he's going to be considered out of it too. But even Drew would be hard because he was out for a while.
So but he's a better choice though because of the fights. He's a better choice because of the fights, the battles, the stuff, the actual the rivalries that he's been building, the stuff that he's been building, like even backstage now, he's just going to attack everybody that helped Roman Reigns. So now we kind of building on another storyline within the storyline. Like it's just a lot. So I think Drew would probably be my choice too. I would agree with that. Based on that criteria that you just said.
Yeah, and I was only going by what that PWI 500 was, and that's a very interesting criteria. All right, we're gonna touch it and take a time out. Hopefully, Pastor don't get hollered at.
No, I don't move past her. She out the way. She out the way. She's too busy smiling and waving, and I guess she thought she was in a parade. She was reliving her glory days because she was a little older, so I guess she thought she was back in school again. Who knows what she is.
Oh gosh, we're gonna take a time out. We're gonna come back.
Y'all forgive me because I ain't know what this all this stuff, you know. I'm trying to get to where I'm trying to get.
Stay close. This is the A-Train Show. Fun Fan Friday is always fun, baby, on Friday. So stay close. We'll be back right after this. Oh man. We're back on this edition of Welcome back.
Okay. Man.
Right.
Okay. Right. A whole mess.
Oh. Hey,
it's
shout out to the Demon Killers University in the house, baby. Shout out to Demon Killers University. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Man. Appreciate them, man. For real. I need y'all to kill something over on this side, man. All right. Jim Harris told us, what up? What's going on, Jim Harris? Good seeing you, man. Thank you for tuning in to this chaotic show we've been having today. But touching base on the rest of the year stuff, and SmackDown is here. And we need to touch on one of a pastor's favorites. Boy, I don't know why I have to deal with this all the time. The one and only Miss Jada Parker. You know, she's a big fan. Yep, there it is. You know what? I always got to make sure we throw.
You got to give it to me.
Yeah,
you got to give it to me, man. Got to give it to me.
Parker.
Yes, sir.
Hey, her.
Yes, sir.
Stupid. Her and Mia
Yim
are stupid. I'm not gonna put it on air because I don't want people coming to me telling me what you doing on this show, man. Like what y'all be doing here, dude. I can't do it. I will say though, but Mia Yim has probably been one of the most underrated stars of 2024.
I agree.
A lot of the things that she's been doing in these matches. She had a great match with Chelsea Green in that U.S. Championship final. It's just the stock is rising for her. And I heard during the grapevine that Kairi Sane is not going to be in that Intercontinental Championship. That Women's Intercontinental Championship. I heard it. I don't know if it's true or not. So if
who they pick up?
It opens the door.
They gonna get last legend.
No, I think they throw in. Io Sky came in instead.
Oh, Io gonna take that spot.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I want to see Zoe versus Io in the Intercontinental Championship. I wanted Mi Chen because I want her to get a title. I think she deserves it. I think she should chase Chelsea Green at this point. Because Chelsea Green is also deserving of the titles and stuff, man. You know what? As much as you might like her character, but her match is pretty good, man. That's why I'm giving her some credit. That's why I'm giving her credit. Yes, the Netflix news conference was great the other day. We touched it briefly because everything that was going on with it, especially the Punk Rollins encounter was pretty good. Triple H's encounters with the two guys, having Adam Pearce there was good. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley's was good. Having the Bloodline show up and then Paul Heyman showing up at the press conference was good to let everybody know that Tribal Combat was going down on January 6th. Yeah. So it's a big show coming up in a couple of weeks. Matter of 3 weeks, as I think it was what we're headed to. We got 3 Mondays before that occurs. So we got 2 more Mondays left in the year. I know we got H-Town that's having the New Year's Eve Raw. So that ought to be with the last Raw on the USA Network channel. Is this a prediction? Is this a prediction for today's game? 23-14 with the Irish. I didn't see that. Or is that going on? Is that currently going on right now?
Is that happening right now? I think it is a game playing though.
Yeah, there is the Ohio Jacksonville State game. I think that's the only one. Oh, they're playing. Oh, that's later tonight. That is a college football playoff. It begins first round tonight, 7 p.m. So yeah, that's the main thing. We got those games dropping off today. So we begin with the college football playoff on a Friday night as well. So if you got, it's jumping tonight. So I guess I'm gonna wait to the semifinal matchups. I guess I'll look in and see what it's gonna be. I don't know. You know,
we got SmackDown tonight, bro.
I know because SmackDown is gonna be on my screen this evening. But there's only one game and then 3 games on Saturday. With the college football playoff, Notre Dame, Indiana does kick off, and as you see, Big Doctor put in his prediction 23-14. Are you going to be at the game, sir? Are you going to be at Notre Dame Stadium for tonight? Are you already there in Indiana? That's cool for the state of Indiana. I think that's what's going to be even more crazier because that's a whole Indiana game right there. All of Indiana is going to be tuned in for that. And they're going to pack that stadium for that first round.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty. Yeah, it's going to be pretty packed.
Red and Irish. Red and Irish green and stuff. That ought to be a fun one. So I might switch back and forth because I want to see if Indiana is for real or if Marcus Freeman, the head coach of Notre Dame, is for real. Because a lot of people don't feel like Indiana should have been, Notre Dame should have been there or Indiana. So, like, who wants it more? So that's going to be interesting to see. That I'm going to check in during SmackDown, and I'll check in with that. So, yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Just more sports for me. I'm losing out on the NBA, though, man. I'm losing out. That NBA Cup
You didn't like it?
I didn't like the NBA Cup championship. I like who won. That's fine. I didn't like the game itself. Like it just seemed like the level of competition just went south. And maybe it's just Oklahoma having a bad night. That's just what it was. Because they got right back on their high horse and I think they won.
Yeah, I'm about to say, they got beat. They got beat. Like that was just something that happened, man. I don't think there's nothing we could have. Oklahoma could have done because Milwaukee was hungry. They Giannis had a mission, and even Dame was like shooting like crazy. So yeah, it was just a different vibe.
What do you feel about this new All-Star game format that's coming out? They're doing something similar to the NHL. They're doing 5-on-5. They're doing 8-player teams. They're going to go against each other. And then I think they're going to have a Rising Stars winner. And then they're going to go against one of the teams as well. So it's going to be 24 All-Stars, 3 teams. And then you have a young team fighting off against these guys.
I gotta see it. I can't say that it'll be successful or not until we actually see how it's gonna look. Everything is always trial and error, so I'm assuming that that's what they're trying to do is get to the trial.
And I think I heard Paul Pierce was saying that LeBron and Steph and KD need to tell these guys how important being in the All-Star game is and to compete in it. For what? I understand they got the leadership and stuff, but at the same time, man, like I told, I can't remember if I said it on the show or not. A lot of people believe that why the All-Star game ain't as good is because these players are now branding. They're a brand now, and because they're a brand now, that's why LeBron James has not participated in any dunk contests. And let me be real with y'all. LeBron could never compete in the dunk contest.
I think that was a conversation you and I had. Oh, no, we talked about it Monday. We talked about it a little bit of it Monday, I think. Yeah, I think so.
I'm like, LeBron.
Yeah, we was talking about that.
He has no creative. He has no creativity for an All-Star game. No. It just his head would be above the rim. You couldn't get me a Aaron Gordon or you couldn't get me a Zach LaVine for what they did some years back and think that LeBron James could do that at all.
Well, not just that, but here's the thing. Here's even worse. This dude is 22 years in the league right now. You would think that he would have done this stuff when he was prime LeBron in Cleveland first time. You know what I'm saying? So it would make sense if he was earlier in his career when he was flying out of the wazoo. Right now, you can't put that kind of weight on him to be a part of that. I just don't think it's fair now that he's older. You know what I'm saying? If he wanted to try it, then he would have tried it a long time ago. He didn't.
And the creativity is just not there with him. And guess what? I'm cool with that. Same could be said for Ja Morant. If he wanted to get in the dunk contest, I don't see nothing. I'd see him do high flying stuff, but I don't know if he can do anything creative. That's the difference. he can dunk, he can jump out the gym. I want to see that happen. And if he
Yeah.
does come out there and he can put on a show, cool. But he had opportunities to do that prior to injury and all that. He chose not to.
Agreed.
Because they're branding. It's a brand. Don't want to hurt themselves, missing out on money. So they don't do those types of things. That's why you get, and even if they sit back and they're bragging that I will just easily steal the show and take over, either prove that or don't even tell me. You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys are a brand and they don't want to participate in that type of stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
I
totally agree.
Yeah,
I'm with that too.
I wish we could have seen a competitive game like 2001 with that All-Star game. Man, I love that game when AI won MVP, that major comeback and stuff. But yeah,
yes, sir.
That's my thing with that. All right. It is 1 o'clock, and it's a little after 1 now, but we got in store.
And she trying to talk to me.
One more thing with SmackDown. SmackDown, we got Bianca Belair and Naomi. They fighting. We're gonna see what happens with that. The titles are on the line. Are we gonna know who was the culprit about this whole thing?
I think we're gonna figure it out tonight.
I'm gonna get a Christmas gift before before Wednesday.
Yeah, well, it depends though. It depends on if they retain. If they retain, then we're gonna find out. If they don't retain, then we ain't gonna know. Not just yet, anyway.
Okay.
Because then they're gonna be blaming each other. It ain't gonna look right.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. College football playoff begins tonight. Bowl games in effect right now as we speak. And we're looking forward to some SmackDown as well. NBA is in the high gear as well.
Yep.
We'll check all that out today. And then one more time, we'll see you before Christmas, Monday. That'll be the final episode. I want to do it one more on Friday because I ain't gonna do one on Wednesday.
All right.
Monday.
I'm with it.
Monday
I'm with
and
it.
Friday next week, we'll close this bad boy out.
Let's
all
go.
Right?
Let's get it.
So just a little while. This is the A Train, the Reverend Doctor. Bye, Zayla.
Zayla, all to say bye. Oh my God. Oh my God, you gotta jump up.
Bye. All right. Y'all deal with that. I'm gonna get out of here. Deal with the rest of my off day. Love y'all. 2 fingers. Peace.
Peace and have a great. Bye guys. Bye guys.